What's up, scrappy peeps? It's Adele from Inkie Quill, and I have a little buy it and try it today. So this, I get a lot of questions about what monthly kits I subscribe to, and currently I just subscribe to 2. So I get Citrus Twist and Elle Studio, and so with shipping it can be a little pricey for us Australians over here, and with the exchange rate at the moment. But each month I get this little pack, and it's not sponsored, not gifted. I pay for it full price. They don't know that I'm doing this at all. But you get a couple of 4x6 cards, a really decent handful of 3x4 journaling cards, and then 2 little sheets that you can see to the right there that have little cardstock ephemera pieces that you can punch out. So it's just a nice little influx of journaling cards. I think that's what I like the best about this kit, is that it bulks up my journaling card stash, because I use so many pocket pages per month. I would probably say on average every week would probably have at least 3 or 4, sometimes up to 8 12 by 12 pocket pages. So when you times that by how many weeks a month there are, I do go through the journaling cards quite quickly. So I've got this week here, and obviously you can tell in that photo of me there, Violet is very much not born in this photo. I was struggling with this bottom pocket about what card to put. The cards that were in this month's kit, this isn't from this month, I think this is a previous month's kit. But they just didn't work for having a collage of photos. So I grabbed a paper pack that I had previously bought, and instead used a 4x6 piece of pattern paper for this card here. So I just wanted to talk about Archie's love of vegetables. Now, if you know me personally, or if you've watched a lot of my videos, you might know that my taste is equivalent to probably a 5-year-old. I love plain stuff. I love plain pasta. I love plain bread. I love plain lettuce. I love plain cheese. I don't really do fancy foods. And Archie's the opposite. And he loves broccoli, like loves it, and would often ask for broccoli for dessert, like after dinner. And of course we're obliged, because why not? So he definitely doesn't have my aversion to the old broccoli, and so I wanted to put these photos together and just talk about his love of veggies, which I don't know where it's come from, because I much prefer the carbs. Potato, bread, pasta, they are life for me. I do eat veggies too, of course, but Archie would prefer to eat those types of things. So I am using some of the little cardstock elements here. I had to matte those photos just because that background is quite busy and all rainbowy. I felt like my photos were getting a bit lost without having a solid border around them. I found that I had quite a few of these little enamel dot sheets floating around that I had started using, and then found a different one to use. So I'm trying to use those up in this video as well, and also adding a little journaling spot here. I really like that there's always labels. Labels are something that I just seem to go through really quickly. Are you a label lover for your project life, or even for any paper crafting that you do? I never used to be a label lover. I think because when I first started watching Project Life scrapbooking videos, I watched a lot of 2 Peas in a Bucket, and Becky Higgins had some videos as well, and they seem to write just on the journaling cards, and so I thought that's what you had to do, so that's what I did. And it wasn't until much later that I found the joy of just having a tiny little bit of journaling on a label that you can just plonk on a photo, and even use labels to cover up parts of photos that you don't want seen. It's also very handy. So this next photo, let me have a look. Oh, it's the albums. So this is This was a big project. I labelled my albums, and of course I labelled them with the wrong year, which is just typical. It was Pregnant Brain to its finest, I think, at that point. Maybe? Was I? I think I was. And I have a full video of this on my Patreon. If you are one of my Patreon peeps, one of my new peeps, you can go back and find my label video. And I'll be doing another one soon because I need to label last year's albums as well. But I really like the way I had these all under my desk because I was flipping through them and showing them on camera. And I just really like the way that they're all stacked up together. There's one of the albums there you can see has a gazillion post-it notes sticking out of it because I had just filmed a flip through and I hadn't taken the post-it notes out yet. But I just really enjoy this way of labeling albums, and not only does it look nice on the shelf, I think, but it also, because the kids were born, you can see the progression in their growth. So I really look forward to doing the next set of albums. I have just ordered actually my 2020, well, I haven't ordered them yet. They're in the cart on my computer waiting for me to click buy, but I've decided to go with the We Are Memory Keepers leather albums for my 2019 12x12 ones. I heard a lot of good things about them, and they were one of the first albums that I bought for my 2013 album. I just have one album for 2013, but that's only because I started in August. It's not a whole year's worth in one album. That's not Inkie. So I really like the quality. It just seems to be the album that has stood the test of time the longest in my stash. Some of my albums are just ruined from moving as well, because since I started scrapbooking, we have moved 1, 2, 3, 4 times since 2013. Yeah, I think that's right. Or 5 times. No, we've moved 5 times since 2013. Wow. So yeah, no, 4 times. Sorry, getting my years mixed up. So yes, they've been smashed around a little bit, the poor albums, and there's a couple that I do need to replace because the rings aren't closing as tightly as they used to. Does anyone have any tips on that? Because I have 2 albums and I don't think I can purchase the same ones anymore. And it would really annoy me if I have to go with a different design. But the rings just aren't sealing as tightly as they used to. And so when you flick through the pages, they come out, which is really frustrating. Let me know in the comments. Here's my ask you question for the day. Someone commented recently that they love that I ask questions, so I'm glad you love that. I love just hearing, I think because I don't get to see my scrappy friends in person very often, we only get together a few times a year, that it's nice to chat in the comments to you guys about what you do and learn some new tips and tricks from each other. But what albums do you like using? And why? Why do you like them? Do you coordinate your albums, or are you like me and yours are a bit higgledy-piggledy all over the place? I don't actually know why I didn't choose to do the 9x12 albums of one colour. I don't know. I think I might go back and rearrange them a little bit, but that's a future Adele project. Maybe when I eventually get to labelling the other albums, I can do that too. So this next one is a photo. We went on a walk, which was really nice, and I used a bit of foam to bump up those little embellies there on the left. I have been really enjoying using craft foam a bit more to add some emphasis to embellishments, and it's so cheap and easy. You can buy the tape form, which I also have, but if you wanted to cut corners with money, it is a bit more fiddly, but you could also buy the kids' craft foam and use that instead and just chop it up to how small or big you need it. I don't think it's acid free though, so that if that's something that is a concern to you, definitely stick to the pricier foam tape that is labelled as acid free. So I coloured in the mood with a Tombow dual brush marker. I don't know why I picked orange, but apparently I did. Sometimes I watch videos and I'm like, yes, that was really good to put that there. And then other times I'm like, why? Why did you choose that decision on that day? Do you ever do that when you look back at some of your scrapbooks and go, this isn't what I would have done if I looked back on it now? But yeah, anywho, maybe it coordinated with another card. There might be an orange card on there. That's why I picked it. I decided to do my journaling all around the border of this card, just to do something a bit fun and funky, something a bit different. And this was a time that was pretty difficult because I was going through some pelvic issues, and I had a special belt that I had to wear all of the time. And then I had splints for my arms because of cubital tunnel. And poor little Archie didn't know what was going on because I couldn't pick him up anymore. And all he wanted to do was sit on top of my belly. And of course, he couldn't. So we had a lot of couch snuggling time. We have a double recliner couch, and there's a perfect little spot in the middle that Archie can perch on. So we had lots of couch time, and he just couldn't understand that he couldn't sit on my lap anymore. Poor little thing. He also thought there was a belly growing in his baby. There was a baby growing in his belly too. So that was, luckily he didn't have one in his belly, so it was all good. But yes, this bunting I talked about before. I used one recently in another video because I had 2 sets of this sticker embellishment sheet, and it's tricky to use, but I think overlapped at the top of a photo helps a bit. And then I really like this label just tucked underneath because it is the bunting is raised up a little bit on some foam, so I could tuck that under quite easily. Add a few little sprinkly bits, and then this card is done. We went for lots of walks this week, which, it's a Violet hand. Oh, Violet came to help. Oh, I forgot that when I filmed this. So usually when I film videos, she's not far away. She's always lurking somewhere. And, look at those little hands. So yes, here is the finished page. Violet is doing jazz hands for you today. But yes, thank you for watching. We've still got a week to go in the Inkie June Marathon. And I might get the kids to make another appearance, maybe with a voiceover. We'll see how we go. Tickling those hands. All right, peeps, I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you tomorrow on Let's Get Inkie. Bye.